Now they'll move it to Axe. Look, in the middle, dunk score. The roommates. Bridge to Mormando.
Welcome back into the Lax Lounge. It has been a minute, and honestly, like, it hasn't even been that long. Like, I did the counting in my head. It's only been like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
But so much has happened, it feels like it's been a month.
Yeah, I mean, a lot has been going on.
Yeah,
like we said last episode, we are busy people.
Last time we talked to you guys was early February. Actually, you know what? It almost has been a month. That was a very stupid comment. It was early February. It was like February 10th. It's March 2nd. March 3rd right now. So it has almost been a month. It's been a long time.
February is a shorter month.
That is indeed correct. Yes. But we have been extremely busy. The lacrosse grind and everything around that has been taking a lot of our free time. Last week we were traveling around, which we'll get into over our spring break, or I call it our second winter break because it's end of February. It's not spring. Although today was gorgeous.
It was
65 degrees,
very
sunny,
nice.
blue skies. A lot different than yesterday, which, again, we'll touch on in a little bit. But I think to kick things off right away, the only way that we do things here, let's get a fast five, Nick.
Quick fast five simple questions, simple answers, no more than a sentence. Here we go.
I should try to keep these short because we have a lot.
We do have a lot to talk about, so I think we're going to like really bang through some things.
Yeah.
But that's okay because it keeps us talking.
That's what podcasting is.
That is what podcasting is. So first off, fast five, first question we have is your favorite non-American sport? This is, like, when I say that, I mean a sport that you don't usually see in the United States. So, like, ice hockey would not count.
Ooh. You don't. I'll say, and I've never played this, but I'll say cricket.
So, yes, cricket is also top of my list.
Yeah.
I would say Aussie rules football.
Yep, that was going to be another
big one.
Rugby.
And hurling.
Hurling, that's a good poll.
Hurling is, yes.
That's a great poll.
Yeah, great. Second question. Would you rather $1 every time you sneeze or $5 every time you and another person talk about lacrosse?
Oh, $5 every time I talk about lacrosse with someone. I would be rich in a day. Literally, like, it's not my personality, but a lot of conversations that I have with people are surrounding lacrosse, and I will bring lacrosse up because it's my personality. It's a lot of it.
I feel like a lot of people would probably pick the sneeze on that one, but they're not lacrosse players.
Yeah, if it's like, because I can convince anybody, I'm not convinced, but I can get somebody to talk about lacrosse even if they don't know what lacrosse is. Yeah. And if I get $5 every time I do that, I'm going to be rich.
I agree with that.
Although allergy season would be sick for $1 every sneeze.
Think about that. Yeah, I mean,
your bank account would
you're sneezing a lot.
Yeah, your bank account would be going up.
Yeah, this might be a controversial question.
All right, I'm in.
Who is your least favorite athlete?
Least favorite athlete? Whoa, I have not thought about that one. I can't think of anyone off the top of my head.
Ben Simmons.
Ben Simmons? Yeah, I can understand that. Shoot. I'm going to have to come back to that one.
That is okay. What is the last thing that you want to hear at 2 o'clock in the morning?
My neighbor screaming. I would not want that. Like, in the middle of the night, just hearing somebody scream and, like, nonstop. Or, like, a baby crying. I don't want to hear that.
Yeah.
Like, that sucks on a plane. It sucks everywhere else. Like, at 2 a.m., it's just not ideal. But one day I'll have to deal with it. So,
true.
To my future daughter or son, please don't do it at 2 in the morning.
They will.
Who
do you think had the biggest upset this week in Division I lacrosse? Big upset week.
Ooh, yeah. I think Penn taking down Duke was the biggest of all of them because Georgetown took down Notre Dame. Georgetown's a quality team. They've had a tough gauntlet throughout the past couple of weeks, but like they can ball, and that was an overtime win. Like they took it to them and gave them a full game and held the Kavanaughs pretty much scoreless almost the entire game. So that was impressive, but I wasn't that surprised, and I think Georgetown earned it. The other big upset was Hopkins over UVA. Yeah. I think Hopkins is back. I'm really on the Hopkins train right now.
Yeah.
I like their squad. They play with a nice little like flair. They get up and down. So I was again not surprised to see that. It was more like okay, they did it. That's awesome. But when Penn beat Duke, that was genuinely shocking because they went into a foot race with Duke. Like it was 16-14. It was not a low scoring game. Like they outshot the Duke Blue Devils, and that is probably the best offense in Division I lacrosse right now. Them in Virginia, but like it was at Duke as well on Penn's whatever break trip that they're doing, because they did a doubleheader.
Yeah.
They played North Carolina today, and North Carolina beat Penn today.
Yeah.
So it's like, I think that adds to how impressive the win was on, what was that, Friday, taking down the new number one Blue Devils. Bad week to be the number one team in college lacrosse. We'll say that. Division I. I mean, D3. We'll get there.
We will. So that's the end of our Fast Five. To the listeners, I hope you enjoyed it. Let's get into the real talk that we got. So we're gonna take it back a little bit, since we haven't talked. What we say, since early February?
Yeah, it was right after the F&M scrimmage.
So right after the F&M scrimmage, we talked. So like I said, a lot has happened, and we're gonna start off right away. We opened up with Haverford, but before we even played Haverford, we had a prep for them. So talk about that week.
Yeah, I mean, it was one of the things I like about this year for us is our focus hasn't been on the other teams that we're playing. It's more been just focusing on ourselves. And with the smaller group, it's a lot easier to do that. But in that week of prep, it's hard going into the first game for multiple reasons. One, you don't know who's coming back. Two, they had a brand new head coach, so you don't know if it's a complete system change, if watching their stuff from last year is just going to throw you off for this year. And then it's also just like, it's the first game of the year. Like, there's not a lot of film on anyone. There's not a lot of film on us, so we don't really know like what our matchups are going to look like quite yet. We're still figuring a lot of stuff out. And it's kind of just like shooting blanks, like seeing what happens and blindly throwing at the dartboard. But I thought we had a really solid week of practice. It felt good bouncing back after F&M, which wasn't the best game that we played. Offense was kind of shaky, and we didn't come out on top at the end. But throughout that week, I felt like we were stacking really good days, and our offense was cooking at points, our defense was cooking at points. We're flying up and down, and it was that perfect like balance of we're pushing each other, but not going too far. And heading into Saturday, I felt like we were right where we needed to be to go out and dominate, and we had a really good showing.
Yeah, I 100% agree with that. Yeah, the boys definitely showed up and played hard. Before we even played, we have this tradition at Cabrini, and it is we have a dinner the night before, a team dinner. Gracious of our parents that come out and make the dinner for us, or serve the food and all that. They did a great job, but yeah, it was a great time this year. Like I said, 30 guys in total, so a little bit smaller crowd than we're used to, but the same rules apply. No phones, enjoy it, be where your feet are, and just have fun with the fellas, have a meal before your first game, and make the memories. And
I made a comment when we were in there, and I think I was spot on with this kind of analysis, because you mentioned it was a small group. We're used to having 50, 60 guys in there, filling it up, and it being packed. It sounded the exact same level of like loudness, like it was a full room. I think we kept the 27 loudest guys from last year's roster and just brought them in this year, because it wasn't a huge difference in like, oh wow, there's not a lot of people here. It's like, holy shit, we only have 4 tables and we are filling the mansion dining room with noise. Yeah. Like, if there was someone upstairs, they probably would have filed a noise complaint.
Right.
Like, it was really great to have that. The food was delicious, obviously.
Always.
It's always just, you prepare for it all day because you know it's happening. So, like, all right, you go a little bit lighter in the morning, afternoon. So, like, you're ravenously hungry when you get in there. And it was spot on. Once again, shout out to the parents. And then the other thing that we do is a team bonding activity. And this year, it was the game Heads Up.
Yeah.
So, our parents made, like, Cabrini-themed Heads Up cards. And we were split up into 4 teams. Each captain was given a certain amount of players. And we just went through trying to give out the hints and get there. It was 10 cards at a time, and it was awesome. It was electric.
It was awesome. Yeah, it was a great time.
My team, I had team captain Austin Bolton. I got drafted there. It was almost the entire left-handed, all the lefties on our team. It was me, Hezzy. I don't think Seb was on our team in that. Yeah, Seb would have been the third. And then Coach Raff was making a joke where he was like, yo, like, I want to be on that team because, like, that's Lefty Nation over there. But our team started off in the first round, And we actually had your dad. He was our, like, kind of leader. And he brought us in. He gave us the football, his coach speech of, like, I didn't come here to fucking just be here. I came here to win. Like, sounded almost like Julian Edelman doing the Bill Belichick impersonation. It was awesome. It got us in the right mood. We started going through. Kyle Catilla was up first. Shout out to the Kyle Catilla episode. And he's ripping through cards. The first one was Netflix. I remember this vividly because we were trying to just say blank and chill. Blank and chill. And then I started being like Stranger Things, like all these shows that are on there. He could not get Netflix. And then finally it clicked after, I want to say 10, 15 seconds. Ripped through a bunch of other cards. We got through 5 and we're like, all right, cool. Yeah, we're cooking. We're cooking. They went around the room asking how many cards everyone got through. Everyone else almost got through all 10, 9, 8. And then we were the ones who were like, 5? What? What are you guys doing? And so Kyle kind of fumbled the bag there. But we dialed the fuck in. And my MVP from that night is Mr. Thomas Vaughan. Because he turned into an absolute wizard, pulling these names out of left field. The rest, after Kyle went, every single person either got perfect 10s or 9s. To the point where when we got to the end and it was doing the score, we were tied for the lead. And had made this crazy comeback, and we went into overtime against Team PJ, and it was Lax Lounge style for the win. Rock, paper, scissors. I gave both our pointers. Unfortunately, couldn't take the dub, but that's just how the cards fall there. But Vaughan was incredible. Like the number one poll was the word was Nerney Fieldhouse, which is or Nerney Pavilion, which is kind of the walk-in area to the Dixon Center. And I saw the card, and I'm like, there's no shot you're getting this. No shot at all. I was like, it's not the Dixon Center. It's the thing in the middle. And Nerney Pavilion, throws it down. I'm like, what the fuck? And then the next card was Marywood. And he took a solid 15 seconds to get Marywood. And we're like, green and yellow conference. Marymount. No. Newman. Vaughan, the only one that we haven't said yet. We went through all the conference schools. It's like, this is the one remaining. So that was hilarious. Yeah, 2 seconds to get Nerney Pavilion, 15 to get Marywood.
That's hilarious.
Shout out Johnny Scabella.
Shout out Johnny.
But yeah, that was awesome. And then from there, we wrapped up with the parents, went into the locker room, and again, night before the first game, so DeLuca wanted to talk to us, and he kind of gave us the pump up speech of yo, we made it, this is happening. Nobody really believed that this was a good decision. He gave us, I really thought he was spot on in the way he put. A lot of people said that this wasn't a smart decision for him to come back and coach us. And his reaction to them is, well, yeah, you're right, but I don't give a fuck. And I really resonated with that because I think that was something I had to come to a realization of is this isn't the correct decision, logistically speaking, the best decision for my career, for my anything. But it was the right decision for me. And he said something about there's something special about Cabrini that that brought us all back. And we got to remember that and feed into it. And then he played this song. It's Outro by
M83.
M83, great poll, which he listened to, him and Nick Voss, before the national championship game. They listened to it in their room, and he had us visualize what we're going to do against Haverford, how we're going to play, how we're going to react when stuff goes wrong, when stuff goes well. And it was pretty out of body experience, I would say. I really enjoyed it. At the start, it was a little bit cringy, I'm not going to lie. Especially, I'm looking at Sam Kirk, and he's just crying laughing. When the music started going, he starts giggling, and I'm like, Shandy, dude, I'm trying to lock in. Help me out a little bit here. And he's giving me all these side-eye looks, just being Sam Kirk. But once we kind of got into it, and the song was 4 or 5 minutes long.
Yeah, something like that.
It was exactly what we needed. And leaving that locker room, I felt so confident. I was like, this group is going to do some stuff. This group is going to kick some ass tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
And then it was game day.
Yeah, and then we dominated.
Yeah, and we woke up to snow, which sucked. We had a snowstorm that came in overnight. So they moved our game back. It was supposed to be at 3 o'clock. It got bumped back to 4, I want to say. And I worked at the front desk at Dixon that morning. So got in at 9 o'clock. I was helping out with it was me, Willie, Juicy, and Waldo. We put the nets down on the field over the snow, which they piled up the snow right up against. I've never understood at Cabrini when they take the snow off the field, they pile it up against the edge of the field, and there's like a drop off, and we lift the nets up so that they can pile it up, but they never push it over. They always just stack it right up to the edge and don't let it fall off, which in my like it kind of seems a little counterintuitive.
Right.
Of like, oh, we're just gonna stack it up right here so it's in the way, whereas if we push it 2 feet forward, like it could just fall off. So I don't know. It's Cabrini logic. It can't make sense. But we dropped that down, and then me and Waldo turned into pure glue guys, and we scraped the rest of the field because there was a couple spots that they missed. So we grabbed shovels, went through, did some touch-up work on Edith Robb, got it ready for the girls' game. Girls got the field warmed up for us, and then we went out there and absolutely dominated from the opening whistle. What were some of your takeaways from that first game?
You know, I mean, like we said before, and like DeLuca said, it was just nice to be out there knowing that, you know, season was finally here. It wasn't like the scrimmage, but, you know, it was a real game, wearing real uniforms, playing for, you know, something big, you know, being 1-0. But, yeah, I thought it was, you know, good day for the fellas. What was the final score, 18-10?
17-10, yes.
17-10. Okay, I was thinking last year we had 18. But, yeah, I mean, scored 17 goals as a group. I mean, it's positive, and any way that you look at it, it's positive. Win or lose, you scored 17 goals as a group. And, you know, we were lucky enough to walk away with a win. And I think it, you know, fired us up.
Yeah, wins are hard, and against every team, they're difficult. And we came out with the right pace, and we held a good pace for the entire game. It was kind of funny near the end. We were up by, I think it was 17-9, 17-8 or something. In Haverford, they scored 1 goal, and there was like 45 seconds left. They get it in the box, and they call a timeout. And it kind of rubbed us the wrong way a little bit because it's like you're down by 8. There's not a lot of time left. You're not going to drop an 8-point goal. Like you're just kind of doing it to make it look less bad on you. So we come out of the timeout, and DeLuca looks. I was down at attack at the time, and DeLuca looks at me and he's like, "Green light. If you have an opening, go to the goal. You're going to score." And I turned to my defender and I was like, "I'm sorry, man. Like, you kind of forced our hand. You can't do that shit and like expect us to just pull the ball out. Like, I'm not gonna be a dick. You don't be a dick. Like, let's just get the fuck out of here." And so we like dapped each other up. We're like, "Yeah, I don't know why we did that." And then Haverford ended up scoring on that drawn up play. So like, congrats, good shit. But no, it was a great day overall. And like you mentioned, it felt good to kind of get out, hear the victory music at the end of the game, and we had a ton of cameras.
Yeah, it was
because you know, first game in Cabrini Lacrosse history, so there was a lot of media members there. In the post game locker room after DeLuca's speech, we prepped PJ Hewitt, our captain. He was like, "Everyone grab a thing of water for Coach's first career win. We're gonna spray him kind of like, you know, the Gatorade shower when you win the Super Bowl or something like that." It's funny because I almost fucked this up. I got my glass, or like my little Gatorade cup, and I went outside to go fill it up. And I didn't realize DeLuca was just sitting out there with Campy and Raph, like just kind of waiting for everything to calm down in the locker room. And I walked by and I'm like, "Oh fuck, I'm exposing myself." Like, so I just went and grabbed the water, started fake sipping on it, like I wasn't gonna chuck it at him in 20 minutes. But that was a really cool moment. They captured it on, I think it's on our Instagram, Cabrini Men's Lac or ECD Lax. Just gives me chills every time I watch it because the pure like just smile on his face, and fellas just enjoying each other's presence and supporting the guy who made this all possible. So shout out Coach DeLuca, congratulations, even though that was a month ago. So like, but I did congratulate him on the field, said what's up, and then that was just a sick moment to kind of put a bow on top of the first game.
Yeah, it was our first win.
I said it in another thing that happened that week that we forgot to mention is I got an opportunity to write a blog for USA Lacrosse magazine.
Yes.
This is something I talked with the guy who did the article on us in the fall when I mentioned like, yeah, I'm gonna journalist. I write for our newspaper. Like, I've never been on this side of the interview where he was interviewing me. He brought up the idea, and we followed through with it. I wrote like a little 1,000 or so words, kind of just summing up our preseason preparation for the first game and all the emotions going into it. And one of the things that I said is like the marathon begins on Saturday, and it's going to be exactly a marathon, full of ups and downs. There's going to be walls. It's going to be intense, but it's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
And the gun went off for the opening whistle, and the race was off and running. And we continued our pace into week 2, or I guess week 5.
Yeah,
But
technically.
second game week. And this is a big one because we're preparing for our spring break trip, our second winter break trip, down to Virginia, where we would play 2 top 25 teams. Lynchburg, who was number 12 heading into the week, and Hampton-Sydney. Big week for our program, and kind of just like this team, because there was a lot of questions. We got the big first win, but then people were like, all right, can they do it against somebody who's very good?
Yeah.
Before we head down there, week of practice was pretty normal, nothing too crazy. And I really felt like we were clicking in the right moments.
Yeah.
And we were finding our groove. And then Thursday comes around. I had to show up late to practice because I had an interview with a professor for a assignment that I'm doing in one of my classes. And it was only 10, 15 minutes late, but I'm walking to Dixon to get changed. I look out on the field, and I see you guys circled up in the middle talking with Coach DeLuca. I see that, and I'm like, fuck. What did we do? What did we fuck up? Is he mad at us? Are we going to have to do something? Great, this is going to blow. So go in, get changed, take my time a little bit, because I'm like, if he's bitching him out, I'll save that for later. But get ready, get out there. You were right into passing drill, and everyone seemed really normal, and it was a little thrown off. So I went up to, I think it was Dylan. I was like, what was that? Talking in the middle. I saw it when I was coming in. He was like, oh, go talk to Coach Raff. It's a long story. What we found out when I asked Raff is our teammate and our captain, Austin Bolton, his sister was not doing well in Ohio, wherever she was, and she had been dealing with, I believe it was cancer, right, for a long time, and it suddenly took a turn south, and so he got a call and had to go out there to be with her. So he was going to be gone for the weekend, dealing with that, and I mean, it just broke my heart. Absolutely broke my heart to hear that, and I mean, couldn't imagine what he had to go through in that moment and just drop everything and go. So that was tough to hear, especially just for such a good guy. Then we're going through practice a little bit more, and I was kind of again thrown off in a good way, because we were setting up for some pre-practice drill, and they threw the starters out there. And Raph was like, yo, Friggy, go in on this cone. I was like, me? What? And Tommy Vaughan, I guess, decided that his name was Friggy, so he ran in instead of me. But I was like, okay, that was a little bit weird, but whatever. I'm not going to think too much about it. Next drill, we were running a 6-on-6 thing. And again, Raph was like, yo, you're gonna run with the ones. I was like, fucking okay, I'll take that. I like that idea. So did my job, whatever, get a couple reps in, and then after that, Coach Luke called me up to talk to him, and again, the immediate thoughts of fuck, what did I do? Did I fuck this up? Do I got to do this better? Whatever. All those negative thoughts when it's nothing happened, but something in my life has gone wrong, and he's probably going to call it out. But go up to talk to him, and he's like, did Raph tell you the plan for this weekend? I was like, no word on such plan. What's going on? So he looks at me, and he says it very bluntly. He's like, well, the plan is you're going to start against Lynchburg. We're going to throw you down at attack. And I heard that, and I literally just I wish that there was a camera reaction on me, because I was like, what? Like me? So he went through the whole reasoning on why they were going to make that decision, throw me down there with Dylan and Hezzy. And like the entire time, obviously I'm locked into the conversation, but in my head I'm starting to like completely spin out of control, because I'm like, holy shit, I went from like I didn't get a lot of playing time against Haverford. I was entirely satisfied with that. Obviously, it was like something like, all right, a little chip on your shoulder, work harder, earn those reps. And I went from that to now against the number 12 team in the country, like, I'm going to be the starter. I'm going to be a starter, I should say. Crazy thing to hear on a Thursday night, let me tell you. That'll definitely get you a little excited. But finished up talking with Toluca, immediately ran off, and I tried to play it cool, where I was going to be like, oh, yeah, fucking heard that before. Like, I'm the man. I think I came off, and immediately, I tried to play it cool. Immediately, like, stood next to Dona Hesse, and I'm like, so I got the news. I don't know how to feel. And they're just like, oh, blah, 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 like, you're going to do great, whatever. Like, we chose you. And I was like, yeah, I mean, it's one way to change my weekend plans. I can tell you that. So that was awesome. Like, awesome, but very nerve-wracking, to say the least, because, like I mentioned, you're going from being a role player and, like, doing your thing to, holy shit, I'm going to start against one of the best teams in the country. And, like, I'm going to have to do my job and make an impact and hopefully carry us to a top 10 dub. But that was pretty much all for Thursday's practice. And I don't know what happened, but after that moment, some switch flipped in my head, and I just started bawling out the rest of practice. Like, I wrote this in my journal over the weekend, where it's like, I almost started playing, like, looser, but, like, I was playing like a starting attackman. Felt pretty good. I was playing in the righty pinch on a fast break, which is terrifying for a lefty, because it's just always in my offhand, and I'm like, okay, one, like, bad drop, and, like, that looks pretty shitty. But I was kind of cooking. I was really surprised. Then, after practice, big thing happened. We get into the locker room, and we have a little video that's waiting for us. You want to talk about the ECD documentary?
Yeah, I wasn't actually in the locker room. I went to the calf. Me, Gers, and Nate were at the calf. And we knew it was, obviously it dropped, like right as we started practice, right before whatever it was. We couldn't watch it because of practice, so immediately after we knew it was there. But we went to the calf. I threw it on my phone, set it up on the napkin holder, and we just started watching. It was epic, to say the least. The ECD boys did some crazy work on that. Yeah, it was great. It captured pretty much everything what this year is. I think the people that were interviewed, Coach has who else? Corbin, PJ, maybe one other person.
I think that was it.
I mean, you were in it.
Tour guide Fridge got an appearance.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, they obviously did a great job. Media trained, obviously. But yeah, it was great. I've watched it 5 times since then. So yeah, that just shows how good it is.
Yeah, I took the opportunity with, I think, 6, 7, or 8 guys after practice in the locker room. We threw it on the TV and watched it as a group. And I mean, Corbin was getting pretty emotional, partially because he unfortunately got injured earlier in the week, and he did get confirmation that he's going to be done for the season, which is absolutely heartbreaking. We'll touch on, I guess, something on that maybe a little later too. But he was getting emotional, like all of us, just pure chills the entire time. I don't think I'll ever be able to listen to the song Skyfall by Adele ever again without like getting incredibly emotional, because the way that they use that. If you have not seen the ECD documentary, please go watch it. One Last Ride, it's on YouTube. It really, like, it's hard to put into words what that conveyed, and like telling our story and kind of showing the world like what's going on. And I mean, it put a lot of stuff into context, even us who are insiders, like just being able to see that, hear other people's perspectives, and the way that we came together in that 20-minute video. Like, it was, just thinking about it, like I'm starting to get a little emotional. Like, it was awesome. Fun fact, which if you stayed to the end of the video, you would notice a nice shout out to the Lax Lounge.
Oh yeah,
because that's where Coach DeLuca confirmed that he was a Lax Lounge enthusiast. Where we made the comment about us playing ping pong, they gave us a shout out, and they put it in at the end, which it was after the outro. So like if people left, it sucks. But if you stayed, you got the true prize. It's like our secret word that we used to do in the early episodes.
Yeah, hell yeah.
But one of the outtakes that didn't make the cut, that I was a little bit disappointed because I thought it was the best part of my tour. Right when I came into the locker room, I was like, showing everything, talking about the TV. And I said something along the lines of like, yeah, it's the TV here. It's where we play our favorite game, watching this guy's high school highlight tape. And there's 5 of us in the locker room, but like everybody just started laughing. And I was like, that was fucking awesome. That was hilarious. That's going to be in the video and it's going to be a great moment. And they didn't put it in. Yeah, I was a little salty about that. I was like, come on, like I'm super professional. I'm doing my shit. Tour guide fridge, like haven't done it in a year, but come on, I get my one joke. I get my home run. And we couldn't make the cut.
Put it in?
Didn't make it.
Gosh. Come on, Greg.
But that was awesome. That was sick. And kind of having that exposure. It was cool, but on the flip side of that, it was a little nerve-wracking knowing what we were going into. And it's like, fuck. Like, these Lynchburg guys probably are ECD fans, and they saw that, and they're like, I can't wait to obliterate these kids. And I saw, like, one comment on either the Instagram or the YouTube where it was one of the guys said Lynchburg's going to drop you. I screenshot that, put that in the chat, and it was like, motivation, we got to come different this weekend. But overall, just a really cool moment. As you mentioned, I've watched it, I want to say 4 or 5 times. A lot. And it never gets old. It really doesn't. It was cool. A lot of people, I don't know if this happened for you, but like a lot of people in my struggle, like they saw that and immediately texted, and it's like, I don't think anyone's rooting against you after watching that. Right. It was awesome. And so again, it's cool to see the community of lacrosse fans coming and supporting us with that and understanding our journey, and just being there along for the ride.
Yeah.
The last ride.
100%.
And then Friday we got up not too early. I think we left at like 9:30. Yeah, it was loaded up on the bus with our boy Vince, the goat.
The goat.
We got onto a smaller bus than what we're used to. I want to hear your opinions on the bus.
Nice bus. Yeah, I mean, it was a nice bus. I personally don't think it was better for the group than a bigger bus where everybody would have gotten their own section. But it was a nice bus.
Yes, it was like pretty much brand new, it seemed like.
Yeah.
And the only thing is there was 40-ish seats, I want to say. So instead of on our way to Ocean City in the fall, everybody got their own seat. It was awesome. Or your own row, I should say, so you could like stretch out, whatever. With this one, everyone had to double up besides like 6 or 7 guys in the back. On a 5-hour drive, not ideal. It was a little tight. It had a nice restroom. Again, Vince is the man. The seats were very, very comfy too.
They were leather. Like very nice bus,
yeah,
to say the least. But yeah, just a little bit too small for my liking.
And it was tough to load up all of our gear. That was the hardest thing. Yeah. We had to play Tetris underneath to get all of our bags and balls and stuff to live there for 5 days and like be a lacrosse team. So that wasn't ideal, but it was kind of cool to get a little bit of a bougie special.
100%. Yeah.
Switch things up. But we traveled down there, and word that we got news earlier in the week from DeLuca that Friday, instead of practicing at 6 a.m. On Edith Rob Dixon Field, a.k.a. Mecca, we would be going down to Charlottesville, Virginia, and practicing at UVA.
Yes.
Which was
sick.
A surreal experience. Drove down. We stayed at the English Inn in Charlottesville. A kooky place, I think.
Pretty much
would be the word.
1,000 dogs. Hotel
yes.
for dogs.
Oh my gosh, it was 1,001 Dalmatians. Like all.
Zaxby's was there. Pretty delicious. Nice chicken sandwich.
Zaxby's is the official chicken sandwich of the Lax Lounge. Can we say that?
No. I would buy a spicy Popeye's chicken sandwich any day of the week before I get back to Zaxby's.
So how about this? I'm going to put out a challenge. Popeye's, Zaxby's, Chick-fil-A, any chicken sandwich joint, the first one to reach out and request a sponsorship will be the official chicken sandwich of the Lax Lounge podcast.
I 100% back you on that. And yes, if you reach out, we will give you a sponsorship.
A challenge.
Or you can sponsor us. I don't know how that will work, but we will do something.
The ball is in your court. Chicken sandwich joint.
Yes.
But we had a nice little lunch at Zaxby's. A bunch of the guys came back, went down to Charlottesville. or we were in Charlottesville, went to UVA, the campus. Finding the field was arguably the hardest part of the practice. We did, I think, 2 or 3 loops around the athletic complex trying to find a good spot to park the bus and then walk to the field. And it was at least 15 minutes of us just being lost. And I pulled it up on my phone, like the satellite, where I found the field, and we were like moving in the opposite direction most of the time. And I wanted to say something where it's like, hey guys, like I'm pretty sure if we just take a right here, like somehow, some way we're going to get there, because on the map it's right there. Yeah. So I don't know if I'm a navigator, but we ended up getting there in one piece, loaded up, deuced it, walked down to the field, and it was right after UVA got done practicing, the men's team. So they're walking out of like their film room, whatever. We see like Shelley, Jack Boyden, McCabe Millen, which the joke all week had been McCabe Millen and Max Morsoff, the glue guy, were going to get into a little boxing match. And the winner got to stay at UVA. I wouldn't say the loser gets to go to Cabrini, but like winner gets a starting spot at UVA, and Max Morsoff was going to take that any day of the week
easily.
Although we are fans of the crease dive, so some
100%.
McCabe Millen was on the crease dive. We love that. Shout out Matt Nessler.
Shout out Max Morsoff.
Yeah, glue guy of the year. McCabe Millen, you can get a shout out too.
100%. If you want to hop on, just send us a text.
Absolutely, hit us up on the DMs. We'd love to have you on. But walking by then was pretty sick, and also knowing the day before the doc dropped.
Yeah.
And a bunch of them had to have watched it, so they probably knew a little bit about who we were, what was going on, and I can only imagine what their conversations were about, especially like Jack Boyden in there, who he played us last year, and he kind of clipped us a lot. So I wonder what the conversations were behind the scenes there of like, oh yeah, it's Cabrini practicing on our field, like last ride, hoorah, and then Jack Boyden just being like one hand.
Literally.
But practice was dope. It was light, exactly what we needed. And I mean, UVA's brand new turf on their
beautiful
lacrosse practice field, gorgeous. And I mean, we had Mike Gerzebek traveled with us on the trip too, kind of doing content, and I think he's putting together his own like kind of mini doc himself. But he was doing like game highlights for us and filming a lot. And he was helping out with coaching a little bit too. Grabbed his stick, and as a fellow lefty, he was helping me out because he knew the circumstances of like making my first start tomorrow. Pretty fucking nervous, like it's a lot. And he's giving me a lot of pointers, like, hey, just do this, be calm here, try to look for this, and like it was very helpful, especially hearing it from his perspective of like this is what he was doing 3 years ago. Like he's the man. He won a national championship there. He knows what he's talking about. Not saying that other coaches don't, but another thing, Dylan came up to me, I think it was during line drills, and he was like, "Oh, how you feeling about tomorrow? Like, you nervous, everything?" And I was like, I put it in the only words that came to my mind, where I was like, "Yeah, I've only been working for this like my entire career, so not too much pressure or anything."
Right.
But end of the day, felt good at the end of practice. And then we head back to the English Inn, had, what was it, Applebee's? No, it was
Outback Steakhouse.
The Outback Steakhouse in Charlottesville. Had it delivered to the English Inn. And, had a nice team dinner, chilled out, and then we went our separate ways. And I proceeded to not get a wink of sleep that night. I was so nervous.
Really?
So I got maybe like 2 or 3 hours.
Damn, I slept peaceful.
So it's funny, too, because one of the things, first night in a hotel, this happens almost every time, where I just don't sleep well in general. So I bring melatonin, and I may or may not have taken like 5 or 6, and they're 5 milligrams a piece. So like I always joke, like, I want to overdose on melatonin. Or it's like I want to be put in a coma, and then when I wake up, it's the morning, and like I don't want to wake up at all in the middle of the night. Well, it didn't work. It got me like 2 hours in, and then my mind was racing, and I was like, yeah, we're not sleeping tonight. This ain't gonna work. That's what caffeine is for. But woke up, had breakfast, went down, and like I didn't even feel that nervous throughout the day. Like I felt really calm and like fine. The moment that we pulled into Lynchburg, Virginia, that's when it started to hit, where it was like, oh my God, we're gonna be playing in an hour and a half, and like I'm gonna be on the field. That's a lot. That's a lot to take in. But it was pregame was pretty normal, I'd say. We got all the flashbacks of being there 2 years ago in the field house. Was hitting the wall, was getting dialed in, blasting my music, like really getting focused. And I felt good. Went out, stretched, came back in, and we got to whip out the brand new all black unis.
Hell yeah.
They were so clean.
Yeah, they were.
And they still are. They are clean, but like
they're gorgeous.
Putting that on for the first time, there's no words. With the lids, with the gloves, with the undershirt. If you haven't seen it, check out our Cabrini Men's Lax Instagram. I think it's in our last reel where you'll see them, but they're fucking gorgeous. Sleeveless. We had a poll over the summer where Coach asked sleeveless or traditional porthole mesh jerseys. And I was a little bit surprised that sleeveless won. I'm a sleeveless fan, but I know there's a lot of passionate sleeveless haters. So I went porthole mesh because I think it just looks sick and like more people would like that. But sleeveless won, and holy shit, am I glad it won. Oh my God. They are incredible. We could talk about that for hours. But then the game started. What was your perspective on the game? Because final score did not go in our favor.
No.
It was 18-5.
Yeah.
Rough day. What did you see out there?
We rushed everything, and that just led us to be sloppy. And when we got, I mean, it was a game of runs. I wouldn't even want to say it was a game of runs. I mean, if a run was 7 goals, that's a run for them. But yeah, I mean, I think we just played sloppy, honestly. I mean, we just rushed a lot of things, and like we just didn't settle the ball as well as we could have on offense. I think like we did have looks here and there, and they were good looks, obviously. But yeah, I mean, and I think we obviously improved on it since then. But yeah, I think I don't want to say got ahead of ourselves, but I think we played at their pace, not our pace.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
Yeah, I mean, we've been saying it the past couple weeks now. If we just get the ball, slow it down, play our version of lacrosse, we will win games. And I think that's what we lacked against Lynchburg.
We got a little bit excited in the big moment.
Yes.
Like, oh my gosh, this is a massive game. We've got to try to play at their level. And we are not good at Lynchburg lacrosse. Lynchburg is very good at Lynchburg lacrosse.
Yes, they are.
And that is where we slipped up, and we dug ourselves into a hole that we couldn't get out of. Going out of the first quarter, I want to say it was 4-1. And it was like, it was a game where, okay, if we get a couple of these shots in better spots, like actually make this goalie work, like we're going to have some success, and we're going to do fine. And then into the second quarter, it was 11-2 going into half. So that's a 7-1 run that we gave up, and it was tough. It was definitely hard to watch and kind of know that, like, fuck, we did exactly what we did last year. Yeah. Last year we went down 8-0 in the first half, and then went into not in the locker room, but into the halftime of like, we just don't have an offense. Like, we have to figure it out. And that was our big thing in games last year. We dig ourselves in too big of a hole to get out of.
Yeah.
Like 8-0 halftime, final score 11-7. So like we dominated the second half, but that 8-0 hole we couldn't get out of it. And it was kind of the same thing in this matchup, although like it was still very heavily Lynchburg dominated. It's the entire day. So not ideal, but something that needed to happen. And I think it was a good sort of reality check of like, we have a long way to go.
100%. Yeah, and I mean, obviously 1,000 different things tied into us losing that game, right? But we still lost.
Yeah.
Right? So, I mean, yeah, had to put our heads down, work a little bit harder, and move on to the next one.
Exactly. And I will say, a cool moment from that game, or I guess it was after, I didn't realize it, but Brian Waldron came up to me in the post game, and he was like, hey, did you know that you had like a family member, like a friend who came to the game and you cheered for? I was like, Brian, what are you talking about? We're in Virginia. Nobody said that they were coming to the game for me. It ended up being one of my former coaches, who I also used to work with in our box league, like way back in, I want to say high school. He's stationed in Virginia, like coaching and teaching at a high school.
Wow.
And he pulled up to the game, and I had no idea. So he was Don Preston, shout out. I know you're not listening to this, but it was awesome. Because I see he made like Facebook posts. He was talking with all the parents. And everyone's like, yeah, like he was talking so highly of you. And we're like, wait, you know Friggy? Like, you know that kid? What? That's our guy. So that was awesome. Texted him after the game, or I guess Instagram DM'd him because I don't have his number. But it was pretty surreal of, like, that's never really happened for me before. Or, like, I have a random surprise person that shows up. And I was a little disappointed because, like, I didn't get to actually see him. Like, he didn't come to the tailgate, which that's not on him. He didn't know. And then I didn't know he was there, so I didn't make a point of seeing him after the game. I was kind of like, fuck, man. Like, he went out of his way to do that. Like, that's a good dude right there. That's a good-ass dude.
Yeah, that's pretty sick.
Shout out Dawn.
Shout out Dawn.
That made the day a lot better with whatever the result of the game was.
Yeah.
Like, that was pretty freaking cool.
Yeah, that's pretty sick. Especially, obviously, being from Seattle.
Yeah. It's a small world. The lacrosse community is awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Then Sunday, we got up a little bit earlier again, and we got to take another trip down to UVA.
Yeah, I went to the UVA Ohio State game. Fun time.
That was awesome. I think that was my, like, third or fourth Division I men's lacrosse game that I've ever, like, seen in person. Which kind of, like, I thought about this earlier today when I was game planning for this. Like, that's outrageous to think about. Like, that was only the fourth time I've ever seen D1 lacrosse in person. Like, that's sick. And the other ones were the national championship last year, and then way back when I was younger, there was a couple scrimmages that happened called the Seatown Classic, where I think it was Denver and Notre Dame came out. And they scrimmaged, and, like, we went and saw that. But other than that, everything I'd seen is on TV. It was surreal to be a Klockner.
Yeah.
And in person, see the grass. Beautiful grass.
Very nice grass.
I would have loved to play on that. And just watching UVA and Ohio State in person, like, they're fun teams to watch.
They are.
They're very good at lacrosse.
Very.
The MVP of that game, in my opinion, would be Peyton Cormier. And that is only because we had a blast watching him.
Oh, yeah.
And just seeing how casually he's a beast.
Oh, my God. Yeah, he's, what would we say, 6'2", 230, and he just puts up 4 goals and 3 assists. And
it's funny because,
casually,
like, I don't think there was a single point throughout the game where he, like, full sprinted in a play. No. He was just always, he would make a cut to the goal at, like, a jogging pace. He would be open, get the ball, and score. Yeah. And I'm watching that like, what? Like, why can't I do that?
Why aren't you covering him?
Literally. And you made a perfect comparison that he was alike to a show horse.
Yeah, he trots around like a show horse, but he fucking scores the ball outrageously. So.
And the second you said that, he literally starts trotting like he's a horse, and I cackled laughing. Like, the timing could not have been better. So that was a fun experience. We also ran into the Lynchburg guys.
Yeah.
That was
the following day.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Nothing too crazy in that interaction, but we all looked. We were in our team outfits, so again, the thought goes through my mind of, like, I wonder how. When I was walking up the steps after I went down to go grab something, one of the guys was like, "Yo, that's Cabrini. That's like the 27 guys." And I was like, "Fuck yeah, we're getting noticed at a UVA game." But yeah, cool experience. We had practice later that day. Wasn't the greatest practice of our life. It was helmets and glove, like a recovery thing. And then Monday comes around, and we have another one of my favorite traditions.
Very fun, very fun.
We have our team dinner at, what's the place?
Charlie's.
Charlie's in Farmville, Virginia.
It's the best restaurant in Farmville, Virginia.
The spot. So this was something we did our freshman year, where come in, big team dinner, and then the highlight event is a bunch of skits that are normally performed
so fun
by the freshmen. Well, this year we don't have any freshmen. We're all seniors. So everybody was tasked with splitting up into groups and coming up with a skit to perform for everyone. So ours, it was me, Nick, Nate, Julian, Gers. I think was that it. Oh, Mario. And we did a skit imitating one of our houses, Hillcrest, and their dynamics. So that's Hunter Waldron, Brett Kugler, Johnny McCormick, and Kyle Catilla. So all of them but Googs have been on the Lax Lounge. So you can only imagine what the dynamics of that, if you've listened to those episodes, are. And we came up with the idea, and the whole thing was like Coach Rafferty, because he lived at Hillcrest the last 2 years. And so he would be coming in, and him and Kyle go on like sushi dates on, I think it's like Thursdays or whatever, where there's like a deal at one of the grocery stores. So they'll go do sushi dates, and the premise of the skit was Raph coming over to go on the date with Kyle and like just seeing the dynamics of the house. And I thought we crushed it.
No, it was. I thought we did a great job. We weren't the best skit.
No. Far from
not even close, but we definitely crushed it. Well, I don't think we were the worst.
We did go first. We made that point. We wanted to set the tone of going first. And I got approval. I was Kyle in the skit, and he came up to me afterwards, and he was like, did a great job. But what was your favorite skit or moment from any of those skits?
My favorite skit was Gavin Leonard and who was it? Was it Hezzy?
It was Hezzy, yeah.
Yeah, Gavin and Hezzy. Gavin being Coach DeLuca and Hezzy being Mario. Not Mario.
Johnny
McCormick. Yes, Johnny McCormick. But yeah, basically a couple weeks ago, DeLuca yelled at Johnny, and it was kind of like a scene where it was talked about later. But yeah, they reenacted it, and Gavin, oh my God, dude, you could be on Broadway. You killed it. It was perfect. And the best part was he was sitting next to me at the table. So he gets done his skit, sits back down. I give him a fist bump. I'm like, that was awesome. And the one part during it, when DeLuca was yelling, or talking to the group rather, he asked us like, how many All-American, who here was an All-American before? And none of us were All-Americans in college. And Mario raises his hand because he was an All-American in high school. And DeLuca, just like not expecting it, his hand to go up, just looks at Mario and goes, put your fucking hand down, Mario. And, like, I don't know about you, but I remember in that moment when it happened for the first time, like, I like kind of laughed in my head. I was like, that was hilarious. But then when Gavin, he said it during his skit, and when he sat back down, he was like, dude, I didn't even remember that until I was like up there, and like it just came across my mind. And
completely like, ad-libbed
out of nowhere, and I was like, dude, that's awesome. And it was perfect time too. It was like on the money, and it was great. And DeLuca was crying, laughing at it. Like that's how you know it's good.
Yeah, he right after it was done, he was like laughing. He was like, I wasn't expecting Mario to put his fucking hand up. And honestly, if I was Guzzi, the one change I would have done is after he goes through like, who here was All-American? Put your fucking hand down, Mario. Third team All-American, second team All-American, first team All-American. That's what I would have done. Yeah. But that didn't happen IRL, so it was right to what he was trying to describe. Yeah. And again, hit the nail on the head. My skit of the night, I would say, is or I think our character performance of the night is going to be Jerry Ulatowski.
Oh, easily.
He did a spot-on Brady Ronner, imitating a scene from last year. And, I mean, just could not have done it any better.
Yeah, it was awesome.
And then my favorite skit, and this is a little bit of a bias, but Corbin, Matt Williams, and Skip, I think, came up, and they were imitating the... So they, way after our group went, we introduced what characters we were, yes. Because our group didn't, and it was kind of like hard to tell, although we made it decently clear. When Corbin went up, he was like, all right, I'm going to be... Or Matt Williams was like, I'm Matt Williams, I will be playing myself. Braden Skipper, I will be playing myself. And then Corbin was like, I'm Corbin, I will be playing somebody, and you'll figure it out very fast. So Willie and Skip start doing squats, like they're in the weight room. And Corbin gave his phone to Coach Luke, and he starts playing Fireworks by Katy Perry and like singing and dancing. And he was imitating me in Lift because I'm that guy where it's like, in between whatever my sets are, like I'm just dancing, singing, gigging around, bringing the positive vibes. And it was when I realized what he was doing, I was like, that was awesome. That was hilarious.
Literally. Yeah, that was funny. Yeah. And he killed it too. It was a perfect song to play and everything. Killed the movements. I know immediately you're like, I would have played this song.
My one critique of it, I said it should have been a Taylor Swift song.
Yeah.
Because that would have fit the vibe. That would have been spot on, like 10 out of 10.
I thought Katy Perry, yeah.
Oh, yeah. That was a 9.9 out of 10. But if you're getting the 10, you're putting Taylor Swift on.
True.
So, great night. Shout out to all the fellas for the entertainment. It was a blast. And again, just like a great way to wrap up pretty much our Virginia trip. Last night there. Next day, we played Hampton, Sydney. And things didn't go our way again.
Yeah.
It slipped out from us.
It happens.
Yeah.
It happens. That was definitely a harder fought game. Probably the hardest fought game we had all year. It just didn't go our way. 11-10 final, right?
Yep.
Not 12-11.
Yep.
11-10. But, yeah, I mean, I think once again it was just a couple things got away from us, honestly. I don't want to say that we didn't play our game, because we definitely did, right? But I think at moments it just got away from us. And I'm not going to sit here and talk too much on the defensive side, but, I mean, it just feels like – also, like, obviously, like, I'm never going to sit here and say the refs, right? But I feel like there's a lot of calls that are just like – I don't know if you're calling that every single time for every single team you ref, right? And if you're not, that's a problem.
Yeah.
Right? So, again, the refs, they don't – it's never going to be – they're the people that decide the game, but, man, oh, man, like, those penalty minutes, they add up. I actually looked at we'll get into the Widener game. We'll get into that. But I actually looked. We had 9.5 minutes of penalty time against Widener.
Wow. In a 1 hour game.
Yeah. That's almost 1/6.
Damn. Whoa, I didn't even put that together. That's crazy. But my big thing from the Hampton-Sydney game, and the reason it was so heartbreaking and frustrating, is I firmly believe we outplayed them the entire game.
Yeah.
We could not make the plays that we needed. They made more plays than us. We outplayed them, if that makes sense.
Yes.
And that was
yes.
That was the hardest pill to swallow. Of like, there's no way we should have lost that game, and it just slipped out from underneath. It was a little too late. We were down 3 with like 2 minutes left. Rattled off 2 straight. Also, Tommy Vaughan with a sick BTB late in the game, perfect spot in the keep, awesome. And then PJ Hewitt with like 40 seconds left, streaking down the middle of the field and burying a goal to put it within 1. Again, like too little, too late. Couple things that if I could go back and change, I would do it in a heartbeat. Like there was one ball where Hezzy tried to feed me on the crease and it was like maybe an inch over my stick, and I like jumped up and tried to get it. And if I could go back and like give it that extra touch, get that. I had a feed from PJ where I was sitting my right hand on the pinch, worst spot to be as a lefty, because you're either scoring an offhand goal or you're making a fool of yourself, and I chose the latter. Instead of moving up the field and catching the ball, I stuck my hand out, tipped, and went out of bounds. And it's, again, if I could have that back, I think that could be a difference maker. But like, one of the things that I realized right after the game is like our flaws, and it's not realized, but like this happens after every loss. Your flaws are always very inflated after a loss, and you're like, all right, we have to scrap everything. Like, this sucks. This doesn't work. It's not the case. We did end up having a team meeting the next day, kind of just reset things, figure things out. And, I mean, in the long run, like, you look at that weekend, we went 0-2, and that's not our standard. And it was the first time we'd ever lost to Hampton-Sydney. But PJ made a point the day before when I was talking to him about the game, where on paper, this is their best team in years, and on paper, this is our worst team in years, which I obviously would argue 1,000% against that. Like, it's probably one of the best teams we have. But on paper, you look at it, and this is the year that they should have beat us. And it was really unfortunate that we weren't able to get the job done there, and that was a long bus ride home, kind of thinking about everything that we could have done in that game. And then our eyes were all focused on, like, how are we going to bounce back?
Yeah.
And practice the next day was fucking brutal, to say the least. We got back at like 1:30 in the morning, 1:32. I actually have a job interview Wednesday morning, so on like 7 hours of sleep, I popped up and at 10:30 was calling a guy in Illinois about a job back in Seattle, which hopefully I get it. That'd be pretty tough. But I explained to him because he was like, "Oh, how was your trip? I heard you were traveling yesterday." I was like, "Yeah, so I actually got back at like 2 in the morning last night. So I'm a little bit tired, but we're gonna make things work. I had my caffeine rolling, and I'm ready to run through a brick wall here because I have an intense practice coming up." The weather did not help. It was pouring rain. It was a monsoon, and we did pretty much every drill where it's like, yeah, this is a grind of a drill. We did all of those at once in one practice, and it was a lot. It definitely, I think, was necessary in a way, because we did need the kind of reality check of like, this shit is not going to be easy, and nobody said it was going to be easy. So like, obviously if I took the choice, I would not have done a single one of those drills, but it was a nice mental test of like, that practice sucked, but what are we going to do?
Yeah.
Are we going to bitch and complain? Are we going to sit in a room and cry about it? Or are we just going to go dig our heels into the dirt and grind? And that's what we did.
Yeah.
And afterwards, we had almost a 3-hour team meeting, just kind of talking things out. And I thought that we took a step forward that day.
I agree.
After the weekend, a lot of people may have assumed that like we made steps backwards as a group, and I thought we got that step back. So all right, we're back on the same page. We reset, and now we're focused on Widener. So let's talk about Widener.
Yeah, they got shit canned. Yeah, I mean, we showed up. Horrible fucking day.
Another just awful weather day.
Yeah. I mean, but at the same time, if you look at it, I mean, Wednesday prepared us for it. And what, wasn't it? Didn't it rain Friday too, right? Friday was a little bit wet. Yes, no, maybe?
Yes, maybe. Oh, I think it might have been Thursday.
Okay, whatever day.
Yeah.
We had a rain practice one of the days, and it was brutal. But, you know, I mean, that's the one thing. Like, it's not the weather unless it's lightning and, you know, maybe even hail. Like, they're not going to cancel it. So, like, you got to play through it, and like, you practice in it. So, like, you do get used to it. And, like, even my dad yesterday was asking, like, what's up with, like, people's sticks and all that, like, when it rains? And I was like, told him the truth. I'm like, the rain bags out your pocket, like, it makes it suck.
Everything throws completely different.
But when you practice it so many times, and obviously being in college now, like, you understand how to fix your stick. And all right, well, if it's going super high, maybe I'll just snap my wrist a little bit more, right? So, like, you're able to manage, right? But obviously having the rain practice the week of a rain game is only going to make it easier. So yeah, I mean, we showed up. I mean, enough said. What was it? 5-0, 6-0 before they even scored.
Yeah, I mean, we shut them out in the first quarter.
First quarter.
And then we took, I think it was a 10-4 lead into the halftime break.
Sounds about right. Yeah, sounds about right.
And we just kept building.
Yeah.
We played as a group really well. There's a lot of assisted goals, and it was exactly what we needed to do. Fly around, and we played like we were having fun.
Yes.
I thought we were having fun out there on the field.
Seemed it.
Especially with the shitty conditions. Like, that was the definition of when I said, like, we have to embrace when it sucks. We embraced the suck that day, and we made the most out of it. And we set ourselves back on track where it's like, all right, that's Cabrini Lacrosse.
Yes.
That's how we need to play.
That's a perfect way to put it. Yeah. You know, there's only so many things you can do after coming home from an 0-2 spring break, right? You can either lose that next game, and that just really sets your season on a spiral. You can take a game and make it a shootout, and, you know, maybe you win by 1, maybe you lose by 1. You can be proud of it either way, right? Or you dominate, and that's what we did. And I mean, the energy in the locker room, it's, you know, it was awesome once we got back in there.
Hearing the victory song there's no better feeling on the field, especially after just a good team win.
Yeah.
Like, everyone chipped in. We were all getting up for each other. It was a great experience.
Yeah. When the weather starts to suck less, that's when you know you're having a good time.
And it was far from the cleanest game. Like, it was sloppy.
Yeah, super sloppy.
It was gross at times. Like, not even weather, just like sometimes it was just bad lacrosse.
Yeah.
And that happens, especially with the weather game like that. But I thought it was a good adversity test, and we took the adversity head on and came out on the right side of the win column.
Yeah.
So, successful Saturday.
Shout out to Matt Williams with a beautiful pole goal, first of his career.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you know, regardless of when it was in the game, I'm just like really, really happy that you were able to do that for yourself, man.
Yeah. That's actually a great segue, because that was going to be my honorable mention moment of the week, because so it happened late in the game. He de-twigged a guy. So we were in a ride.
Beautiful.
And I think he yard sailed a guy at midfield. Ball pops out loose. It goes right into my stick. Running down the field. He's streaking through the middle. And the last couple plays, there's like under a minute left. And I'll be honest, I didn't really realize that. Last couple plays, I'd been in a similar situation. I pulled the ball out instead of pushing it. Good guy move. This time, I saw Willie streaking, and I was like, oh, I'm feeding him. Like, this is going to happen. And I was especially happy. So Taryn flipped my hips, threw him a ball. It wasn't the greatest ball, so like good handle, Willie. He takes 2 steps. The defender's right there. Drops his shoulder, gets an inch of separation on his defender, fires, shoots, scores, and then we go nuts. Ballistic. The entire team.
It was our loudest celly of the day.
100%, as it should. Like, as the pole goal was first of his career, he's been working his ass off all year to like get in that position. It was so awesome to give him that. And he had like his family was there. One of his good friends came to visit.
That's awesome.
So I didn't know that until after the game, where it's like, that's even cooler. Like, you got to do that for your boy. The other reason why it meant a lot personally is because in the fall against Widener in our scrimmage, I fucked him over because we were playing. It was a fast break. He threw it down to me, and I tried to throw it back, and I sailed it over his head, and it was going to be like a step. He was going to bury it. It was going to be a step down. And I kept thinking about it's like I fucked up Willie's first goal, and I got it back for him.
Hell yeah.
And I told him in the locker, because he said something to me after the game where he was like, great fucking feed, let's go, that was awesome. And then in the locker room, I like said congrats, and I'm like, had to make up for the Widener game in the fall. And he was, I didn't even remember that. It's like, I fucking remember that. Just I felt like shit.
That's awesome.
But yeah, great segue into our moment of the week. Would you like to go first?
Yeah. My moment of the week was getting home from spring break. It was a great. Obviously, you go 0-2. It can only be so great, but great last ever time for Nick Mormando being in Farmville.
Never have to go to Farmville, Virginia again.
Exactly.
I
I enjoyed it. Hopefully, I would, if my kid plays Division III lacrosse and goes to Lynchburg, all right, I'll venture down here and there. But man, oh man, it's not enjoyable.
I made a joke all weekend where, like, in 30 years, I'm going to bring my kids down here and be like, this is where I spent 2 of my college spring breaks. Like, be grateful. I can confirm after that Hampton-Sydney game, I never want to go to Farmville ever again. Nah. I can't stand that place.
Yeah, I'm all right. Yeah, I don't need to go back for any reason.
Like, I don't have a good memory now. Like, yeah, all the shit we did is fun, like, in the hotel.
Good times.
Great times, but, like...
Zaxby's pretty good.
Zaxby's is sick, but I don't have to go to Farmville for Zaxby's.
I don't need to go to Farmville for Zaxby's.
Exactly.
Right.
Same with Cookouts, same with Bojangles. Like, Bojangles was ass, low-key.
Bojangles sucked.
It sucked. It sucked.
Especially having Zaxby's the day before.
Yeah.
Cava, fucking gas.
Went there before the UVA game in Charlottesville. My first time ever having Cava, and I was so excited because I'd been wanting to try it for so long. Huge Mediterranean fan. It's a Mediterranean Chipotle. My one complaint, everything costs like $3.
Oh my god.
It was fucking expensive.
It was nuts.
Like, I mean, I got a little bit excited first time, so like I just got everything that looked good, and I dropped like $20 in the bowl.
Yeah, mine was like $20 also. I was like, holy shit. Yeah, it was. I also didn't finish my bowl. It was huge.
Yeah,
so much food.
It was amazing.
Yeah, it was gas. Cava. Yeah, I'll be back. You'll get more of my money.
Can we get a Lax Lounge sponsorship?
If you guys want to sponsor, also. You guys can sponsor.
We will talk you up. Don't you worry. And also, we will not complain about the prices. The prices are perfect if you sponsor us.
Yeah. Also, KFC. You weren't included in the original sponsorship message with the chicken. So, KFC, if you also are hearing this, you can hit us up.
Yep. Great Lunch on Instagram.
Just fried.
DM us.
Yeah. So, yes, my moment of the week was getting back from Virginia. Although it was a great time, I never have to go back to Farmville.
For spring break especially.
Yes.
So my moment of the week, I'm going to go to yesterday, right after the game, or not right after the game, like a couple hours later, going over to 4th Ave, which is a recurring character here on the podcast. I walk in, and I knew that Nate's family, his dad, was going to be there, and so I was going over to say what's up and talk to them before they headed out. I walk in, and Bear has 2 of his friends over who came for the game, were staying the night. And they're sitting on the couch, and I obviously didn't know that they were there. But I walk in, and his one friend, Aiden, is a genetic replica of Henry Brunings. Like, my buddy from back home. Like, they're twins. I literally, when I say I walked in the door, I turned, and I was like, I froze, did a double take, and I was like, what the fuck are you doing here? Like, full blown in my head, I'm like, this is a crazy surprise. Like, how did these guys pull this off? This is unreal. And then Bear goes, oh yeah, these are 2 of my boys. and it like snapped me back into reality. But the rest of the night, and I told him about it like 10 minutes later, because I didn't know how to approach it, where it's like, yo, by the way, you're like twins with one of my friends, and I can't stop like seeing him. Like, I'm going to call you Henry at least 7 times tonight, and that's awesome. Just a habit. But he was a dog. He was cool. We took a picture, and I sent it to Henry, and I literally was like, I fucking met your twin today, and it scared the shit out of me. Not scared the shit, but like, I got really excited really fast because I thought you were here, and then I got disappointed. I was like, oh, okay, but this guy's cool. So that's my crazy moment of the week.
That's awesome.
Where literally I was about to, I went through the entire emotion of like, did my friend just like completely surprise me? And did they pull this off? Because that would have been unreal. Because actually I was texting with Henry over spring break. He stopped playing lacrosse at Bates.
Yeah.
And he did full-time hockey, and he loved it.
It's crazy.
Absolutely loved it. And like, so hockey season just wrapped up, and he's like, yeah, I actually like have a lot of time now in the spring. And he's really enjoying it, made a great decision. And so it added up in my head where I'm like, there's no way that this is happening right now. And I just didn't know, but it wasn't. So, Henry, if you're listening, I told him, I was like, yeah, we got to make it down to Philly. Like, let's make the surprise real. But, like, tell me so I have that. Yeah. You're always welcome to Lax Lounge.
That's awesome.
So, yeah.
That's awesome.
That was a pretty good moment of the week.
Yeah, I can only imagine.
And now,
I saw one of my boys.
I think it is time. Shall we draft it up?
We shall.
Draft bank. All right, so we did iconic duos last time.
Yes, we did.
Great draft.
Fucking insane.
So the 2 that I have right now, I have walkout songs, and I have pieces of architecture. Could also, so with walkout songs, it could be like hype songs, pregame songs, anything in that department.
And I like it, but I don't love it.
Mm-hmm. Pieces of architecture.
Now, can that just be like I'm not gonna say structures that I would take.
Yes.
Right, but like,
it could be buildings. It could be monuments. It could be.
I think we should do that.
I really like that one too.
Start the shit off.
Pieces of architecture, and we will. I don't think we're gonna run into anything that's like a gray area. So we are gonna go to the infamous rock paper. How do we do this? There it is, right there. By the way, undefeated.
I shall win.
Undefeated in 2024. Also, in our team meeting, we did the same thing where DeLuca called on the Lax Lounge because we sat next to each other. And without thinking, we immediately turned to each other, rock, paper, scissors. And I won, so I got to speak. But I just love how this is becoming a consistent theme in our lives. Here we go. Let's be great.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Okay.
Bitch.
Okay.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Bang. Got him. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. All
Bitch!
Right. And the streak is over.
Till I collapse, Eminem.
Yeah, I forgot to mention.
That's my number 1.
Piece of architecture.
Shit.
Yeah.
I was thinking hype song. I'm going with the Coliseum.
The Roman Coliseum. That's a good one. When I said be great before the rock, paper, scissors, I forgot to bring this up. But one of the things I did before Lynchburg, Hampton City, and Widener that I'd never done before is during the national anthem, I started doing self-affirmations. So I like, closed my eyes, and I was like, be great. You're going to do all of this stuff.
You
and,
look beautiful.
Yeah. Positive self-talk and like visualizing. And against Lynchburg, I like forgot the national anthem was going. And so I was doing that all the way until like the end, and I almost forgot to open my eyes.
There you go.
Like I full-blown just blacked out, and I was like, oh, fuck, I gotta go play.
I love the national anthem so much that I make my own version in my head, and I add ad-libs to it. Right, so it's like, the rocket's red glare. Or the bombs bursting in the air, right? Gave proof through the night. Right, and you just do that while it's going on, and you'll never not laugh. It's awesome.
Oh my gosh, I need you to perform the national anthem next week.
Been doing it since 9th grade.
All right, my number 1 pick, or my number 2 pick, I guess, but first pick that I'm going to do here is I'm taking the Great Pyramid of Giza.
Yeah.
I think if it's not the Coliseum, that's the number 1 pick. And I'm satisfied that I got that, because that was going to be my number 1 pick.
Yeah, I was going to take that next. So that's a great first pick. The reason I say the Coliseum is because we know it was definitely built by people.
True. I wonder if Bigfoot built the pyramids.
Holy dude, all these black holes that you're sending us down, it's amazing. So I guess at number I guess like this would be the third overall pick. Damn, dude.
There's a lot of ways you can go.
I'm gonna go with the Leaning Tower of Pisa.
Ooh, that's a good one. I like that. I'm gonna go with Burj Khalifa, the tallest building in the world.
Very nice.
I don't know how to spell that, but I'm just gonna sound it out. Burj Khalifa.
You should have seen how I spell Coliseum before they auto-corrected me.
Burj Khalids is what my phone thinks I wrote. But your third pick?
For my third pick, I am going to pick the White House.
White House, okay. All right.
It's a beautiful building.
That is a beautiful building. I am going to go with a piece of architecture that we don't know a lot about, but is insanely impressive. I'm going with Stonehenge.
Great pick, Friggy.
I'm very happy with that one.
I'm going to need 1 second on my pick.
1 second has been granted.
Thank you.
I gotta start thinking about where I want to go next, too.
I know what it is. I just want to make sure I say it right. Yeah, Parthenon.
Ooh, that's a good one.
There's a party at the Parthenon. You ever hear that song?
Yes. I'm going to go with Notre Dame.
Nice.
I had to get at least one cathedral.
Yeah.
So it's funny. I did, I helped out a teammate with a class my freshman year, and it was history of architecture. And it's really interesting going through, like, the different decades and, like, how stuff evolved. The Gothic period was sick for, like, building Catholic churches.
Oh, yeah.
And, like,
crazy, right?
Unbelievable. The level of detail in there, insane.
You ever see the only black church? I forget where it's. I think it's France. There's a
Is it all black?
It's all black.
Yes, I have seen that.
I'm pretty sure it's France.
Unreal.
It's beautiful, but yeah, it's crazy.
It's hard to beat Notre Dame, though. Like, it's just how iconic it is.
Can I take the entirety of an area?
Are you going to say the Vatican?
I was going to say the Vatican.
I'll give you that. I'll give you the
I'll
Vatican.
go with the Vatican.
So that's your last pick? It's rounding off the team?
It's going to round off the team. It's my team's way too historic for me. But at the same time, when you think of architecture, I feel like you think of a lot of the ones that I've said.
Yeah.
I think you think of a lot of the ones you said, too.
I would agree that, like, going historic is a good route because it's more impressive that way.
It's also, people know, like, they're notable names. Like, when we first talked about architecture, like, I almost, like, my number one overall pick was going to be the Pillar. Like, I thought we were talking about, like, things in architecture.
Oh. I'm gonna go with the triangle structure of how you build support beams.
The Pillar was fucking revolutionary.
What about what's it called? The keystone.
Keystones are great. Pennsylvania is a keystone.
Yeah, that's the only reason I remember that. I'm trying to think of how I want to round off my team. An insane piece of architecture. I'm going to go. So you have the White House. I'm going to take the Kremlin.
Good.
In Moscow. I think I wish
I could go back and take out the White House and replace it with something. The Kremlin is 10 times better than the White House.
Yeah.
It's way older, too. It's 1500s.
Exactly.
1300s.
Whatever it is, it's sick.
Yeah.
It's dope.
Yeah. It's beautiful.
Yeah. And there's a lot of history that goes on.
For the comment that I made about the White House, I would like to replace the White House with Taj Mahal.
Ooh,
but Taj Mahal will be my first honorable mention.
So the other one that I was thinking about, Great Wall of China.
Great, yes.
Also, whatever Qin Shi Huang, his mausoleum, like the Terracotta Army.
Yeah.
I don't know if that counts as architecture as much as archaeology.
Definitely archaeology.
Yes, and so that's why I left it off, but I'll give that as an honorable mention. Another one that I wanted to give in, but I don't think it'd be a popular decision, the FDR Memorial. I think that is the greatest memorial in the country because everything has meaning behind it, and I think he was quoted, like, before he died, somebody asked him if, like, if you're going to get a memorial or a monument, like, what do you want it to be? And he literally wanted it to just be a desk. He wanted it to be as simple as a desk. And they turned it into the most elaborate and, like, beautiful monument in Washington, D.C. Jesus. And there's another story about, like, there's a statue. There's 2 statues of FDR in there. One of them is him in his wheelchair, just because, for obvious reasons. He had polio. And then the other one is him in a wheelchair, but he has a blanket covering it. And that, the one with the blanket covering it was the original that they were going to use. And the polio community came out and they were like, this shows that he was embarrassed about his polio and, like, hiding the wheelchair when he wasn't. And, like, that was part of who he was and, like, why he was such a powerful leader. And, like, the way that, yes, he did hide it during World War II, which I think is fascinating how he was able to do that. But they made a big point of, like, we want this other statue to show the wheelchair and, like, embrace that he was dealing with this disease. Yeah. And it's awesome. Like, when I heard that, I was like, that's so sick. That's sick. You don't get that at the Washington Monument. You don't get that at the Lincoln Memorial. You don't get that. Jefferson's Memorial is pretty cool, too. That one looks sick. It's cool to go at night when, like, all the lights are reflecting on it. But, like, you just don't get that anywhere. Yeah. So, honorable mention to the FDR Memorial in Washington, D.C.
I'll take, for one of my honorable mentions, I guess you can't take them. They're just honorable. We'll go with Mount Rushmore.
Rushmore's a good one. I was going to say the Space Needle. Shout out to
Space
the 206.
Needle, yes. I almost said World Trade. We'll go with Empire State Building. What's the one in, what's it called? The one in Chicago has its own zip code.
Oh, the Bean?
Maybe it's the Bean. It's the tall-ass building.
Oh, no. I'm thinking of, like, the glass, like, bean thing that's, like, super... It's not glass, but it's like metal.
I'll take the St. Louis Arch.
St. Louis Arch. I will take the... You already said the Empire State Building. That's
Empire State of Mind.
That's a fumble on me. I just had one. Shoot, man. The Alamo.
Nice.
Oh, I'm thinking more just like historic buildings. Not like cool piece of architecture.
Yeah.
If it was real, the Hanging Gardens of Babylon.
True.
That'd be number 1.
Yeah. Colossus of Rhodes.
Yeah. The lighthouse at Alexandria. Now we're just going to the 7 Wonders of the Ancient World.
Yeah. The Library of Alexandria.
Oh, rest in peace. So much.
Set us back.
What do you think?
Fucking million years.
How do you think modern civilization would be changed if the Library of Alexandria?
Everything would change. Everything would change.
We lost so much there. Also, Alexander the Great, where are you at, dude?
Every bit of technology would be changed. Like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not saying it would fucking be, completely different, but, like, there would be way more advances made.
It's
because old technology meets new technology.
It's crazy how one building changed the world.
Yeah, and who was it? The fucking Turks that burned it all down?
Be better. Get better.
Be better.
I think. Independence Hall. That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah. Duh.
Duh.
Yeah, probably like Washington Monument too. Like,
I think that's a good. So, what's the CN Tower in Toronto? That place is sick.
Yes.
Cool. The Eiffel Tower.
Big Ben.
The Eiffel Tower.
Yeah, I didn't take that. I thought you were gonna take Eiffel Tower. I took Leaning Tower of Pisa instead.
Yeah.
Eiffel Tower, Big Ben. What's that? Huge. What the fuck's that called?
A circle.
It's a wheel. Ferris wheel.
Oh, the London Eye.
The London Eye. That's not architecture, but
no.
Yeah.
And actually, if you are going to take a wheel, you take the Seattle Great Wheel because it is great. It's not an eye. It's better.
It's great.
The Seattle Wheel is sick. Also, you get a great view of the Puget Sound from the top. You get to see the city. Awesome. Put that on your bucket list if you go to Seattle. Also, shout out to Edmonds.
Facts. Shout out to the Lax Lounge.
Repping it since 1876. Shout out to Mom and Dad for getting me this bright orange.
Where the
If you're watching on YouTube, you just got a great moment right there trying to find the Lax Lounge logo. It's right here, and it's right there.
Somewhere.
There.
It's on your hat.
Down, over, up. I think it's a good time to recap the draft.
Yeah. Since I won the rock paper scissors for the first time all year, I'll go first. We started off with the Colosseum. Then we got to the Leaning Tower of Pisa. First two were in Italy, by the way.
Technically, you have 3 that are in Italy.
Technically 3 in Italy. The first 2 were Italian.
Yeah.
The White House.
Not Italy.
The Parthenon.
Also not in Italy. A very big rival of Italy.
Big rival.
With the Greek.
And then Vatican City, which is technically in Italy, but not Italy.
I still think it's like crazy how that works. Also, shout out to the Pope. Pope Francis, man.
Facts.
He's a dog.
Facts.
He's a beast. Pope John Paul II, favorite Pope. Put it out there. What's your favorite Pope?
I'll
let you simmer on
Pope
that.
Pius the 12th.
Pius the 12th.
Pius, yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, I have no idea what he's done.
I'm trying to think. I feel like that's like a notable name. He either was really good or really bad. We're gonna go with really good.
He was really bad. That's the reason he's notable.
Yeah.
But big Francis guy.
Yeah.
Didn't know Benedict enough, but
Benedict is all right. He was the first one to step down in like a long lineage of popes.
Yeah, he didn't die. I think he's died. Has he passed?
Yes, he's passed since.
Okay, well.
But he stepped down from the papacy before he died.
Papacy.
Yeah,
That's just a crazy word. Papacy.
Yeah,
I want to go to the Vatican. Lots of history there.
Absolutely.
He's actually the devil.
I want to go.
Did you ever hear there's 3 popes?
What?
Well, I'm not saying the Pope's the devil.
I was gonna say like that was a crazy take to have on the show.
But like, you ever see like the like what's it called? What's it called? The snake room. It's not like the snake. But
No.
Like, we're gonna end this episode. I'm gonna show you some pictures. It's like there's fucking architecture at the Vatican that's like, oh, this dude's like. I'm not saying Catholicism is, but like, it's fucking like pretty dark.
Interesting.
Yeah, dude.
The Vatican is very sick. For my top 5, I went with the Great Pyramid of Giza, Burj Khalifa, the tallest building in the world, Stonehenge, another wonder of the ancient world, Notre Dame Cathedral, and the Kremlin. I went international. I really stretched some boundaries here. I got Egypt, I got Africa, I've got Dubai, the Middle East, I've got England, I got France, I got Russia. I spread it. Big one that we missed is what's the thing in Rome? Christ the Redeemer. I said Rome. Whoa, I meant Brazil. Holy shit.
Oh yeah.
I think that's our time. That's our cue to like wrap this up. My brain's done.
I was gonna say the aqueduct's fucking crazy.
Yeah, that is a that could be an invention. Wasn't that on my list for inventions? I feel like it was an honorable mention.
Yeah, it was something, but yes. Thank you, Rome.
Yeah, couldn't have done a lot without you. Shout out Julius Caesar.
Yeah.
Got stabbed in the back.
Thank you for crossing that Rubicon.
E2 Brute.
Yeah.
There's no shot he said that.
Yeah. You would think that's just some Shakespearean shit written in.
Yeah. If I'm getting stabbed by my friend, I'm not going, and you, Brutus? I'm going,
I love you. Why did you stop me?
Thank you.
There are 40 of you.
Thank you guys for listening. It was great to be back.
Yeah, truly.
Fun little recap. Let us know if there's any stories or anything that you guys want to hear us discuss. If there's anyone you want us to have on as a guest to talk about.
Yeah.
Other than that, I think there's one thing we have to do. It's been a while.
Yeah, real fast before we end it, let us know your favorite kind of chips. I'm looking at, we have chips right up there. So.
Ooh, favorite type of chip.
Favorite type of chips.
Favorite flavor. I'm a barbecue guy.
Yeah, big sour cream and onion guy.
I
Yeah, very nice on the chip.
So I wasn't into sour cream and onion until like very, very late in my chip eating career.
Understandable.
It is an acquired taste.
It's tasty.
Salt and vinegar. There's nothing. Well, you're not a salt and vinegar guy.
Never will be.
There's nothing better than, I forget the brand, but they're like a kettle cooked potato. No. It's something on the West Coast. I don't think I've seen them out here, but they're awesome. They're delicious. And they're the ones. Ketchup chips, if anyone's ever had those.
Fuck.
It's a Canadian thing.
Sounds it.
They're not bad. All right. Thank you guys all for listening.
Thank you.
It was great to be back. Make sure to tune in this coming week. When you listen to this episode on Wednesday, we are going to be playing in a game against Arcadia.
You're going down.
We're going to be on the road, so tune in, watch. It'll be a rainy game, but we're going to be having fun, 7 o'clock. And then Friday, we play on the road at SUNY Cortland in New York. I believe that one's also at 7 o'clock. So tune in, support the Cavs. And before we head out here, there's one person we got to thank.
Shout out, Jules.
Shout out, Jules.
Love you, man.
We love you. We miss you. We will see you tomorrow.
Keep stargazing.
Keep stargazing, man. We'll see you next time.
Yeah, I'll be stargazing. I'll be up in the clouds, but I won't come down cause I'll be too faded. Everybody wanna walk that talk, wanna talk that talk like we made it. But they all gon' catch what I got, I'll make the money right back. Bitches be trippin', don't know how to act. He just be singing, don't know how to rap. I really be running this shit like I'm Owen. She like a wave, I'm loving her motion. It's like I'm sipping straight up on the potion. Water be dripping and feel like the ocean. I know that I'm different cause I'm from the other side. She's saying that she want me, girl, that's capping, girl, you lie. Everything I ever did, all I do is right. You could never say it, cause you switched up and you lie. Yeah. Had to switch up and you lie. Yeah, I'll be stargazing. I'll be up in the clouds, but I won't come down cause I'll be too faded. Everybody wanna walk that talk, wanna talk that talk like we made it. But they all gon' catch what I got, I'll make the money right back. Bitches be trippin', don't know how to act.